White people, I need you to know that your money will not assuage you from your guilt. You cannot pay your way out of this. There aren't enough reparations in the world that you can pay us. And so you think because you write a check or you slide me something in Venmo that you're absolved and you can tell somebody, well, I gave Dr. Blay $100. I'm not racist. Dr. Blay is going to spend your $100 and still tell you that you're racist. Thank you.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
What?
Yaba Blay seems like a cunt.
Ah!
What the fuck
Which
was
one
that?
is Yaba Blay?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which one is Yaba?
The one
Blay?
talking. Amy
The one
Wambach
talking.
is a
Amy Wambach.
is a
Abby
soccer
Wambach.
player.
Abby
That's what
Wambach.
A stalwart for the U.S. women's national
But
team.
she's said some dumb shit too.
Oh man.
How's she gonna start that out? Listen, white people.
What is a white
And what the fuck
person,
did
though,
what
first?
what I do?
Ooh,
I don't
now
know. I'm
let's
not
get
sure
into
what
it.
I did.
Let's get into that.
What's a white person?
What did I do?
Right?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think I've been told it's me. I've been told I'm one.
But
I'm pretty
so
sure
what's-
G's one.
Yeah.
But okay,
But only
Candace, you
recent,
are-
only recently.
I'm not.
Huh?
I'm not.
Yeah, you're
33,
appearing.
33. Oh, so white passing.
You're white passing.
White
Yeah, that's what I was
passing.
looking
So
for.
then
White-
you're
white
yeah,
passing.
no, 33% Jap, 13% Jewish, and then the rest is Spanish, and then the itty bitty thing that's left is white. So no,
Okay.
I don't.
What was the white part? It's so
like
funny.
North-
It's so funny
it
that
was
you
like
went like
East-
nationality,
But that's how.
religion.
And then it's like white.
No,
Wow, white.
not nationality. Well, Japanese is an ethnicity.
Yeah, it's a
Correct,
country.
but
Yeah.
Jewish is
No, Ashkenazi Jew.
Ashkenazi Jew.
Ashkenazi Jew.
Ashkenaz.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Gosh,
that's
gosh.
like super.
In
Jew, though. So it's like,
Catalonian
you're
Spain.
like, ah,
No.
Catalonian.
Ashkenazi is the one that looks white.
Yeah.
Sephardic looks.
Sephardic, okay.
Like David,
I
gotcha.
thought the other
okay.
one starts with an
like
M.
Middle Eastern. Or Sephardic and Ashkenazi. That's the two
Oh.
delineations I've heard.
Yeah, I heard one that starts with an
So
M.
the Ashkenazi, that's the European.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then you're Spanish, like from the former Usted Spain.
Yeah.
And
My
then,
mom's
and then the
side.
way she went white.
And then white.
Yeah, what kind of white?
But
White.
just like when you do the 23andMe, it kind of just gives you the map, and
Like
it
a
was
region?
just Europe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
European.
didn't specify really.
yeah. She's
I'm a Germanic Viking mostly.
you're a Teuton. Yeah, man, I feel sometimes like I woke up as an alien in a new planet. Like I'm not equipped. I just don't have white guilt. I have none of it. I don't have it. I don't. And then people are like, you need to have empathy. I'm like, I look at people who have white guilt as like, what did you do?
I have empathy, but I don't have
Like-
white guilt. I didn't do anything. I don't have
Empathy-
any ancestors that owned any slaves, or you know what I mean. Like
My family came
Empathy-
here.
my family
For
came here
what?
after, in like the
Empathy
1900s.
for what though? So that what is? First of all, I need context about.
I
that.
assume for the
lady
Honestly,
talking.
so that anybody who can sit through that conversation, they deserve a Purple Heart. that whole video is it's just a struggle session. And
is that lady a professor or an author
yeah,
or what
she's
is she?
yeah, she's a professional victim. She's professionally outraged, and Abby Wambach and her wife, who is somehow worse than her, they do these struggle sessions, and the end of this is Abby going, "Wow, you've given white people so much to think about." And I just think we really have to do the work. And yeah, and I'm just sitting here like, man,
she just eats it pretty
dude,
much. She's like the whipping boy.
there's a sexual aspect to this.
Sexual?
like kink.
There's a kink to this, and I'm not joking.
Like
There's
a
a
little masochist.
there's a sub-dom thing
Yeah.
here, man. Like, I don't care what money you give Yaba Blay, ain't no money gonna be enough. Dr. Blay gonna take your money, and you're still gonna be a little white bitch. And it's like, you're like, yeah, you're so right. It's
Yes,
fucking,
mistress.
Right? Yes, mistress.
So there was this clip going around, and it was making fun of Gen Z and, like, I guess probably the younger millennials, and it was saying how they were shocked to realize that America didn't invent slavery. Like,
Yeah.
you know? And so when they're like, oh, you white people need to do reparations, well, first of all, like, what is a white person? How much of what like breakdown do you need to be considered white? And then I was watching this Bobby Lee video, and he's like, well, Koreans, we are better than everyone else. We have never had slavery. And the guy's like, I don't think that's true. He's like, yes, we've never had slavery. Asians, we just haven't done it. So they Google it, and Korea had the longest unbroken amount of slavery in the world. And he was like, dun, dun, dun.
Korea had the longest unbroken chain of slavery of any society in history. Fuck! Holy shit!
So then what about the Asians? Do the Asians also need to pay reparations? And then what about the African tribes that were selling Africans?
That's a great point.
And that's why Dom is going to bring up Tipu Tip and Mensa Musa, two of the richest people of all time.
Right. African slave drivers.
Yeah.
And I think she's just talking to us here in America. You know what I mean?
So when did you have to come over, though, to be considered part of that?
I don't think... I think that's a great point. But I don't think she cares.
And then what about all the white people that died to free the slaves?
Yeah, exactly.
Do their families get paid?
So what's funny about that is the CRT people talk about that, and they talk about Lincoln, and they talk about the Civil War.
CRT?
Yeah, critical race theory. Essentially, they think of it as white vanity. Like the same way people are like, oh, Ronald McDonald House is just a tax benefit for McDonald's. And it's like, yeah, but they put
are they doing good
people
things?
in houses. Yeah. So, they just dismiss it. And at the end of I really honestly believe, and this is just my own conspiracy theory, but I truly honestly believe all of the anti-white rhetoric that is pervasive in our educational institutions is all to try to get the youth to adhere to the tenets of communism, right? Because if you look at the founding fathers of the United States, right, their one thing that they had in common is they were white men. And what did those guys do? Those guys stood up against the globalist powers of the time. They said, fuck you, we ain't playing this game. They opted out. And then the globalists tried to crush them. And they nutted up, click-clack, threw the tea in the harbor, risked it all, took up arms, beat back the greatest global power the world had ever seen. And then what did they do after they risked everything, after their friends' family died, after they conquered their land? They defended their land against this encroaching global tyranny. What did they do? They gave it back to the people.
Right.
They could have been kings. Yes. They could have chopped this country up into their own little fiefdoms. We could have been Europe.
Sure.
And these guys risked it all and said, all right, here you go. And what's the very first thing that they wrote in the Bill of Rights? Did they say, hey, look, you can't talk shit about a veteran if you didn't
speech.
Yeah, if you didn't fight in the
guns.
revolution, you have no say, which is what oddly enough Alexander Hamilton wanted. The new hero of the movement. But they said, look, man, yeah, I risked it all. Yeah,
Washington just wanted to go to his tobacco farms, and they were like, "Bro, we need you. Like, come on, come and be our king." And he's like, "I guess I'll be president, but like only for like a few years, and then I want it to be done." Like, I love a reluctant leader.
Yeah,
I love a reluctant leader.
So now,
and I think one thing that you were saying in the beginning, we've forgot about communism.
It's been rebranded.
And it's been rebranded. It's probably of a concerted effort.
For sure.
But like back in the day, like the Red Scare, like the Red, you know what I mean? People were worried about it. McCarthyism. They turned McCarthyism into a joke. Mm-hmm. This is something we gotta remember. Like there's a reason why people are, especially when was it, the 50s, 60s? Mm-hmm. That was like, this was a real threat to freedom, to our way of life.
Yeah, that's a great point. And the problem with McCarthy is how it ended. It makes it so easy to forget about the fact that he was right in the beginning. There were communist spies in our government. Mm-hmm. There were people in there. What's his name? Aldo Speer? I forget his name. But one of the people in Franklin Delano Roosevelt's cabinet was a Soviet spy. It's become so obvious that the veil's been pulled back, that there really is a global communist, socialist, progressive, whatever you want, one world government effort to take over the Yuri Brezhnev active measures And they realized, look, this is what we have to do. We got to go after the kids. We got to get the cities. We have to do intellectual and institutional capture. And the way that they figured out how to do it is they go after the original sin of slavery in our country and don't give anybody credit for getting rid of it. Don't give anybody credit for ending it. It happened. And the people who founded this country were slave owners. Therefore, the founding of this country is illegitimate. Nothing else matters. And that's their honest and true belief. Their honest and true belief is that this country was founded by the demons. And then the angels, therefore, have not only the right, but the moral justice.
It's kind of that presentism stuff as well.
100%. It's a logical fallacy.
Yeah, you can't judge people of the past by today's standards.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. But that is, so they are doing this. This is an inorganic, and they're doing it to destabilize this country. This is my belief. They're doing it to destabilize. We're bringing this thing full circle. The WEF, China, the UN, the WHO, the Open Borders Society, the Paris Accord, the climate extremists. These people want one world government. They want to control and distribute every asset on Earth. They believe that the biggest threat to our Earth is us. They talk about depopulation all the time, and they think that they could save us from us if they just controlled us.
Sure. Yeah.
So in order to do that, right, the only reason communism has failed in the past is because we didn't have total control. That's the problem. We just need more control, and then we'll fix it.
Just give it one more shot.
Just
one more shot.
No, if I had control of everything would be perfect.
Yeah.
If only I was doing it, then it'd all be good. If we did it, guys, come on.
The arrogance of it.
Yeah, I know.
The arrogance of being like, those idiots fucked it up.
I know. It's like someone.
But we
Got it right.
we're going to get it right. You know? And then we give these people useless degrees so that very middling intellects can wear Warby Parkers and call themselves doctor. And now people have thought, well, I'm a doctor. I'm brilliant. And then they make 60 grand a year and say the system's fucked because I have a PhD. Why am I making 60 grand a year? Because nobody wants what you do. You don't provide service.
Right.
Your greatest asset is arrogance. Nobody's paying for that. You know? So we're sitting in a situation where people want to extract wealth for not giving any value. And then when nobody wants to play that game, they're like, see, this is proof the system is fucked.
Yeah.
Pick up a hammer. Do something useful. What's remarkable to me, how much money there is in guilt, though. For the Abby Wambach to be like, oh my God, you're so right. We really need to do the work. Where do I send the check? Am I one of the good guys now?
Yeah. No, you're not.
Can
Sorry.
I? Oh,
She said it doesn't matter.
what if I send another
Yava
check
Blay.
next month? Will you tell people that I'm a good guy?
Doesn't matter.
weird.
You can send her $100. She'll spend your money, but she still hates you. You're still a piece of shit.
Yeah. It's very strange, man. It's a very strange thing.
Yeah,
It's like,
I mean that's what she said. Like,
yeah, it's like if you don't go out of your way to treat people special. Like racism used to be treating people poorly. Now it's if you don't go out of your way to treat people special. Now you're a racist. It's insanity. It's nuts. It's like there's a certain, like, I'm uncomfortable with it. And
I am too, man. People should just be treated equally. There's like these like a lot of like, I don't know. I guess I mean kind of like the white women thing where they're just like, oh, you've had a harder upbringing, I'm sure, because it's like don't like they're you're being judgmental.
Patronizing.
Yeah, it's patronizing. It's judgmental.
Yeah.
It's like we're all people.
The first thing I'd like to do is acknowledge my privilege. I've had so much privilege. It's been great. I do not, but as long as I acknowledge it, it's like the new Catholicism. It's like first let me acknowledge my sins. I was such a sinner. In my youth, I was like sinning so much, guys. Like it was like
hard.
whoa. It was fun. I sowed some oats. But I said like
freaking
6 Hail Marys, and I think we're good, right? Yeah, he says we're good. So like, yeah, like, you know, I had a Starbucks latte this morning, and yes, I drive a Range Rover, and yes, it's new, and yes, I summer in the south of France, but I think it's horrible. We're cool, right? Like, fucking what, dude? Shut the fuck up. Shut up. I hate these people with every fiber in my body. Every fiber in my body. You know why? they're a threat. I see them not as an annoyance. I see them as a very threat to my existence. They would kill me to try to make her happy. They would put me on a fucking on a train to a camp to be seen as an ally. There's no reasoning with them. They are an actual
you think
threat.
Abby Wambach would, if they're like, hey, we'll send this guy to, hey, listen, Yaba, will it make you happy? If he'll make you happy, we'll send this comedian to a concentration camp. And you think she'd be like,
Re-education.
You think she'd be like, all right, yes, I do agree. You should go. That's because
I have my opinions. Candace, what do you think about that situation?
Yeah, I think she'd probably say send him off. He'll come back a better, more.
But you like me more, Yaba? I'm cool now, right?
I believe it in the depths of my soul. If they knew they can get away with it, they would do it.
Yeah, but do you think it's a real threat? Like, I see both of those people, and I don't feel threatened.
Yeah, because they're bitches. So it's not a real threat, but they can get power and get somebody else to do it.
Power, what's that quote from Game of Thrones where like he gives him this little riddle and there's
do you feel powerful?
a warrior, there's
Sorry, that was Bane.
warrior, a
What
king.
part of Game of Thrones was that?
I don't think in any of them.
No, that was Bane. Dark Knight. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
But it's like-
Mickey drinks and he knows things.
Essentially, its power is where you believe it resides in, right? And everyone's gonna believe that it resides somewhere else. So maybe if you stop believing that those people are powerful, then they won't be powerful anymore.
I get it. See, I have the other. I take the other strategy. I believe they're all powerful, and I prepare accordingly. Mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
then,
be prepared.
Yeah, but I keep saying to myself like, don't make me do it. Just fucking. I just want to be chill, honey. I want to be cool, honey, buddy. Like, I want to be cool, honey, buddy. I want to play softball and tell jokes, and, I just want to be cool,
Honestly,
man.
though, these people, and when it comes down, again, to being a threat, these people are just not. I go to functions with a lot of these super California lefties, and we were, I don't know if I told this story, but we were in the mountains, and there were a couple knives. Like, my husband had 2 of them, and, like, the women were going to go walk back to the hotel, and the men were going to keep going. So I didn't even say anything. I turned around and went like this to my husband, and he kind of like smirked and handed me a knife. And then everyone's like, what? Like, why'd you? And the women were like, I can't even touch that. I was like, if a fucking mountain lion or a black bear comes out here, you're gonna be glad someone has
That's
something.
the actual genus of the bear. Just Miss Dr. Blade, just to be clear.
Don't come at me.
If a polar bear were to attack her, she would.
But they were scared that the knife was going to hurt them simply by touching it. So, like, when it comes down to it, there's, like, the whole fight, fight, or freeze, like, fawn.
Yep.
These people are all fawners. There's no threat.
I disagree. Yeah, but also, okay. But if the bear showed up, are they more likely to push you and run?
No, I think they'll pass out.
So, well, okay.
The fainting goat.
Well, let's take what you're saying at face value. So they're either a direct existential threat or they're no help if an existential threat arises.
Right, and then they're just not part of your tribe, right? So you have this idea of who's in your tribe. So if you need to make a call, who is on that list? And I'm sure you guys have a list. I have a list, and it's like, these are the people that I know are going to protect me. These are the people I will protect no matter what. Like, I've got some real dangerous people just down the road from me, and he's got a small infantry, you know what I mean? And like vehicles ready to go, and that's what you
He's ready
need.
to rock.
Yeah.